welcome to Illinois and Garden Zone 5. So we are into August already and it is time for the August garden tour. So not only do I want to show you what's blooming right now in the Midwest in August in the back garden, the new cut flower garden, and also up front at the mailbox garden, I had recently taken you on some market visits with me and purchased some items, and I want to show you how I styled those up, not only in the garden, but also in the home. So I'm going to show you a project that I did there. And if you watched last month's garden tour in July, I had purchased some table legs and I had a project, a DIY underway in the new cut flower garden that we were working on. And I want to show you the progress and what we ended up doing with that. So let's get going today. We have a lot to cover. I found these table legs thrifting. And there's 4 of them. And they're wood and they've been painted white, and I picked them up for $2 a piece. This is how it turned out. Now the 4 table legs, like I had mentioned, I picked up thrifting for $2 a piece. The other material we had on hand, the tabletop is like a composite material that we had used on another project that was left over. And then my husband took 2x4 leftover scraps and made wood braces for this to set on. So it is being balanced by the braces, not by the table legs. The table legs are just more decorative. So after that was completed, I still had paint on hand. We had just painted the garden shed a couple seasons ago, and so I came out and painted the table legs, painted the wood braces so that everything would look more seamless, and even gave a touch up to the side of the garden shed. So I think it turned out really nice. I like the idea of having that extra workspace to either pot up a plant or do an arrangement, a cut flower fresh arrangement, or even just decorative to put some pretty pots on. I think it's a good use of space, and I really like that we were able to do this DIY. The only real expense that I had was the table legs because all the other stuff we already had on hand. So real thrilled with that. Now let's take a look at the cut flower garden. The cut flower garden is new this year. I grew a lot of the stuff from seed over winter. I also direct sowed seed into these raised beds, and I purchased a few bedding plants and some perennial herbs to add to the raised beds too. I have some roses that I've added. That raspberry cupcake rose is new for me this year. I picked that up at Home Depot at the beginning of the season. It's blooming really pretty. I also added some dahlia bedding plants that I had picked up. And then remember, I did show you anytime you find a bird cage or a decorative cage, you can cut out the bottom like that's done here with the metal. It had a metal bottom in it, so we cut a hole in the bottom, and now I can use that as a cloche. So anytime you find something like that when you're out thrifting, that's a cute addition to the garden and double purpose. And I think I paid like $5 or $6 for that when I was thrifting. So very cute. And then over here in this area, we've got some pretty marigolds on each side of the entry of the garden. And you'll see that I do have the 4 areas. And then I'm still working on the focal point, guys. Right now I just added a pretty potted planter here, but that's not what I want. I'm going to keep looking, and once I find something that I really want there, I'll put it the focal point there. But you guys had a lot of great ideas of what to add for a focal point. But so far this year, for a first time experiment, I think it's looking good, and it'll again change as we go along. So what's blooming in your garden right now? Leave me a comment below and let me know what you have in August in your area that's blooming, that's looking great. Also, have you got any new thrift finds that you've picked up lately, either for the garden or the home? Let us know about those. How did you repurpose them? How did you use them? And if you're enjoying this, please like and share and subscribe. Thank you. One of the things you're going to see throughout the back garden are these little columns, those little architectural columns. Now, if you like that look, you could put a little planter on those, you could put a little statue on those, or you could leave them just plain. Pick those up at my Hobby Lobby, and they had clearance those because they use those for their shelving, for their displays. So those were $3 a piece, and they normally sell them year-round anyway in different sizes. But if you're looking for something like that, you may want to check your local Hobby Lobby and see if they have any that you could put out in your garden. And they're made of like a plaster type material. So as we're coming through here, the Agastache is still blooming. That's meant to be raspberry. Very pretty there on the corner. And the sitting pretty roses are still blooming. Not as profusely as they were in the July garden tour, but they're still putting blooms out and looking really nice. We've got an iceberg rose over here, Polar Express, that is not supposed to be a climber, but boy does it put out branches like a climber. Now, I had previously last month showed you this pretty mirror that's tucked back in there that I had picked up thrifting, and now the roses have just grown so much and shot out so many long canes that you just see that little mirror in there tucked in, and so just a real nice design element kind of hidden back in. Now as we're going around the garden, let me pan first and show you just an overall view of the back garden, and then we'll talk about some specific flowers that are blooming. This still, and this is early in the morning, so we will be getting some east sun here. We have the hydrangea, the Quickfire Fab Panicle now is starting to put its fall color on, and isn't that pretty? It starts out white and then it goes to like a pinky color, and now it's going more to that brown raspberry color. Another sitting pretty rose, and I really like how I've got the roses there with the hydrangea. I think that's a real pretty combination. We've got the purple sweet peas that are just going crazy there back in the back climbing. And then even the phlox, the luminary phlox by Proven Winners that smells so good, it's still blooming strong. This little one I want to show you back here. If you're looking for a little panicle hydrangea, this is Firelight Tidbit from Proven Winners. And look how pretty that is. Now that only gets probably if I remember, it's 1 to 3 feet, depending, you know, on growth. This is its second season, and it's just a really nice size, and it would work really well in a planter too if you don't have garden space. So I just think that's a real pretty panicle. So the knockout roses are blooming and looking really pretty. And then the David Austin corner here with the 3 David Austin roses, they're blooming a little bit, but now here in August that they just had their second flush, and so they're getting ready to rest again, and then they'll flush again probably one more time this season. And then the urns still have lots of color in them. Now I was quite pleased with back here. There is a foxglove that I grew from seed that just started blooming, and I didn't even realize it was back there. So there is a nice pretty white foxglove with next to that cone flower. And then in the springtime, I did that DIY birdhouse that I spray painted. Well, we finally got it mounted. So now it's on the new fence. So we've got our birdhouse up there that's, I guess, really not so much technically a birdhouse, more just of a display, but the birds do come and set on it. So back here we've got some double impatiens from Proven Winners, and I will be doing, I think, more of those next year under this Jane Magnolia tree. I really like the color, and it's just so bright against all the green, and they've done really well and taken well to this partial, more like dappled shade, I would say. The hybrid tea roses are looking really pretty, and I still love that mirror, you guys, as an accent on that backs up the roses. And then as you go by and look in the mirror, you can also see that it reflects the fountain. Nice accent if you are looking to add something to your garden. Look for a thrifted mirror that you like the design, and it just adds some garden whimsy. Here you can see I do have another one of those columns, and I've just laid the foxglove over top of it that was blooming because it was kind of dragging on the ground. So it just kind of helps prop it up. A nice size to help prop up a plant. We do have a white diamonds hydrangea next to that double impatient that's blooming. More of that green chartreusey color. That's pretty. And then this is the little lime panicle hydrangea from Proven Winners that's also blooming, and it's starting to get that little bit of pink tinge to it that has that gorgeous color. Champagne Wishes rose that's finishing up its bloom cycle, and the salvia has restarted again. So the salvia, I did have to already give it pretty much a hard prune, and then it re-flushes out again. And then we've got the little quick fire hydrangea back here, and I really like this one. I think I will be getting more of those to put out in different areas of the garden. I like the panicles. You can see back there that it starts out that real pretty white, and then it changes to this raspberry color. Very easy to grow, low maintenance, so I like all of that. Now over here we have a red knockout rose and the Bobo hydrangea. Now the Bobo is also a nice size if you're looking for about 3 foot is what it'll eventually get to. This is its second season, so you can see the growth I have on that, and that's more of a white color. And then I have a salvia, purple salvia tucked in between there on both sides of the Bobo and the knockout. And then on the other side of the knockout, we have the white Veronica. And that's mirrored here on the other side also, but instead of a red knockout, I did a bubblegum pink knockout, but we've got the Bobos, the Salvia, and the Veronica. And in the back there, we've got a hosta that is now blooming. And even the clematis is still putting out a few purple blooms there on the deck railing. And then the garden circle, the boxwoods are doing really well. As you can see, I've not shaped them because I am just letting them fill out and grow in. And then we've got a couple planters of Supertunias by Proven Winners, and they are doing well, but we've had, the last couple weeks have been really, really hot and humid here in the Midwest. And so anytime it gets real hot and humid, they seem to slow down a little bit. So I still have some color, but not as much as I did a few weeks ago. But I think it will, they'll return. It's just kind of like in August, like I said, I wanted to show you what's in bloom and what's slowing down now with the heat. So as we pan around, we can see that on the garden house, all of the window boxes and the planters are still looking pretty, not as full, you know, not as many flowers, but still quite a bit of flowers for August. And then back in this corner, this garden area, this is its second season. This was grass last year that we pulled out and made a larger new bed. And so in there we've got some roses, we've got lilac, the dwarf bloomerang lilac right there is from Proven Winners right up front. So that's a nice size. It'll stay tiny like that, but it reblooms those purple lilac blooms. In the back is lime lights. So those lime lights, if you can tell though, I want to show you the difference of just the blooms on those. So we've got some here, and that's normally what a limelight bloom is, but look at those huge ones over there on that other one. They're like more than double the size. To me, those almost look like what you would see on a large Annabelle type bloom. They're so huge, but very, very pretty lime lights. And then when we were at the market, I came across this. Oh, and this is really cute. Look at this. Oh, $25, guys. This is super cute.
What do I have on it?
It's like a base
What do
wood.
I have on it?
25?
I can do 20. It's actually the top of an old post.
That's what I thought, but
Yeah.
it's cute. I could see using it as a maybe like a pedestal in the garden for something. Yeah. Okay, so she has 25 on it, but she told me she would take 20. I think I'm gonna get it for the garden. I like it. And then I had thrifted this little concrete Isabel Bloom statue with the little girl holding the bird. And it's just the perfect size to set on that column. So I've got her just tucked in there. And had I left her all by herself, she would have been pretty tiny. So I think the column just kind of elevates her a little bit, makes her more prominent, and then is just a little peek as you're walking by in the garden. So this is what's blooming in the August back garden. Now let's head up to the front garden. I want to show you the mailbox area. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the garden tour. Now, I want to show you the home project that I picked up when we were at the Burlington market. You had seen me find this frame. Pretty frame for $7, like that. Oh, it's really super heavy. Look at that. Really nice. Now, I just thought this frame was really pretty. It's big and chunky, very my style of frames that I like. And to me, it just looked like it needed an oil painting in it. And of course, I didn't have an oil painting on hand to put in that frame, but I had found this technique that I had seen some other people do, and I thought it was really cool and wanted to try it myself and see if it worked. So what I did was I purchased online downloadable prints from Etsy. So now if you've never done this before, let me give you a quick overview. So you can go on to me, Etsy is where I went, but there will be other places also online that you could find downloadable prints. And in the search box on Etsy, I put what I was looking for, and I was looking for pink roses, vintage pink roses in a downloadable print. And so then all of the options of the different prints populated, and I found one that I really liked and was able to download that for a few dollars. And then I uploaded that to Walmart's 1 hour photo. Okay, so you've got your print, and the materials that you're going to need for this project is you're going to need one angled brush. So I picked up a 3-pack at Walmart when I picked up my prints. I also picked up a 3-pack of canvas skinny panels. You could use heavy cardboard instead of the canvas panels if you would like. I also picked up the smallest container of Mod Podge that Walmart carried, which is this 8-ounce size. You won't use that much Mod Podge, so if you can get it in a smaller container, go for it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your panel or your cardboard, whatever you're using, and you're gonna put a coat of this Mod Podge on that panel. Now the Mod Podge is like an Elmer's glue. It's a white colored Elmer. To me, it looks just like Elmer's glue. And so you're gonna put that all over your, whatever you're gonna use as your backing. You're also gonna take your print and you're gonna put it all over the back of your print, and you're gonna then glue your print down to your backing that you're going to use. Then you're going to let that dry for 20 to 30 minutes. Now this is where the fun starts. And try to mimic the strokes of the print so it looks more realistic, like an oil painting. And you're going to put thick coats of this all over and cover this entire print. And then you're going to let it dry. 20-30 minutes it'll take. It'll go on very white and it'll dry clear, and you're going to do this process 3 different times, and when you get done you will have a very chunky texture, lines all over your print, and it's going to give it more of that realistic oil painting look. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the August garden tour and seeing all the projects we've been working on. Please leave me a comment below, like and share. And if you are looking for more garden inspiration, check out these videos next. Bye everybody, have a great day.